This is more fun than an indoor briefing.
Absolutely.
I'll take some questions.
Caroline,
Sure. He just put out a truth statement. If you haven't seen it yet, I encourage you to look at it. But I was just talking with the president and the Secretary of State and the Vice President, and it was a very good and productive call. It lasted more than 2 hours. There were various issues that were discussed. President Putin congratulated President Trump for solving the conflict in Israel and Gaza and bringing peace back to the Middle East. He also thanked the First Lady for her efforts to bring back children and save children in this brutal conflict. And the president feels like great progress was made on this call. They also agreed to have high-level senior staff meeting convened as early as next week, which will then be followed by a meeting very likely between President Trump and President Putin as well. They talked about Budapest as being a location for that. So as you all know, President Zelenskyy is coming to the White House tomorrow, so these discussions will continue. And frankly, I think the president deserves great credit. He literally just got off of a trip to the Middle East where historic peace and accomplishments, seeing the hostages return out of Gaza. These are major foreign policy accomplishments that so many people around the world thought could never be achieved. And so I think the president deserves a great deal of credit for doing that, coming home, dealing with so many domestic issues, and then again, hopping on yet another call with President Putin and hosting President Zelenskyy again at the White House tomorrow to try to move the ball forward in peace and end this conflict in Russia and Ukraine. So that's where we are.
Caroline.
Thank you. After their meeting in Alaska, the president was optimistic that he could get Zelenskyy and Putin together in a room. Does he still believe that he can get the two leaders together sometime soon?
I think he thinks it's possible, and he would, of course, love to see that happen. But right now, there were discussions and plans are now being made for the Russian side and our folks, led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, to meet, and then for President Putin and President Trump to perhaps meet again. But I don't think the president has closed the door on that at all, Mary.
Caroline.
You said in Hungary possibly when?
Well, this call literally just happened, so we will provide you with more details as soon as we can, I promise.
On that
Caroline.
call, did Vladimir Putin commit to sitting down with President Trump and President Zelenskyy?
He committed to sitting down with President Trump, as President Trump's truth post put out for you.
And what did he say what it would take for him to be willing to sit down with Zelenskyy finally as well?
I don't want to get into that, but as I just said, the president and President Putin discussed meeting together in Budapest. And President Trump will talk about that opportunity with President Zelenskyy when he's here at the White House tomorrow.
Caroline.
Does Trump believe any conditions have changed to make a second meeting with Putin better, more successful than